Has the cost of elder care got you down? Budget cuts made it impossible for everyone? $47,000 a year, and what do you get? A woman who is bored, well-rested, and calling you at 3 a.m. to describe a dream. Introducing Granny Gardeners. We take the same woman, bolt a mower to her walker, and put her back in the economy. She arrives slowly, she finishes eventually. She cuts it shorter than you asked, but says it's better that way. It's fine. Granny Gardeners. She was going to walk laps anyway. Now she walks them for money. Ask about our Doreen, but don't ask Doreen about Larry. Granny Gardeners. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Hello and welcome to Lunch Therapy. I'm your host, Joel Marshall. We'd like to thank our Patreons at the top of the show. Comedy great Howard Aronin. Comedy great Mike Knox. Comedic builder Todd Lee. Amazing actor Camila Lopez. Wonderful mother Liz Lopez. Robert Lopez, my brother-in-law. Jay Patterson, my co-host on Tuesdays. Pam Palmieri, incredible promoter and comedian. Neil Phillip, attorney extraordinaire. Seth Word, many different animals. Jason Edelman, brilliant engineer. Daniel Muchler, amazing trivia person. Mary Marks, one of my favorite people. And Rebecca Henry, also a wonderful supporter of the show. Patreon.com/Joel Marshall to support live comedy. Hoy, there's Jay right there, Jay Patterson. There's Camila Lopez, hoy. And Ginny Sykes, the amazing Ginny Sykes. Crow or Raven? I'd say Raven. I'm thinking Raven. Although it's AI. This is one of my favorite AI creations. Some people don't like AI. I think it's a creative tool. I don't know, but maybe we'll talk about that on the show. Tell me what you think about it. In the meantime, we're going to breathe. Got an incredible guest today. Today is Interview Friday. We have Ariel Evans on the show. She is a comedian out of New York, raised in Seattle like myself, and the fellow behind me, of course, Travis Schumacher, who is the commander of Healing Vibrations on YouTube, playing the sound bowls for us today to relax us. In through the nose, out through the toes. People weighing in on AI, let it go. I definitely think it can be an amazing creative tool. I think so. Ariel, yeah. That's yeah. That's not yay, but it's yeah. Maybe applause would be good. Another deep breath, in through the nose, out through the toes. Let it go. Hummingbirds are here. We call ourselves Hummingbirds. We're a cult. It is a cult. Hoy, says Todd. That's one of our greetings in the cult. We say hoy. We all know the name of the cat, Perseus. That's one of our gods, I guess. Has the show started? Yes, the show has begun. We're breathing one more time in through the nose. Hold it. Let it go. Bottom line is that it is. And that AI genie is not going back in the bottle. It's true. I mean, I think it's wonderful. The one thing that's bugging me is when I see on Instagram, somebody will send me a video and it's about like the rehabilitation of an animal. Like they find some animal on the side of the road and it's all bony. No offense, bony. But it's all bony. And then they rehabilitate it. And it's wonderful. And I tear up and there's music. And then I find out AI. Like I've been duped. But, I'm sure it happened somewhere in the world. And they just gave us a visual representation. It might not be the same animal, might not be the same person, but, people are saving animals. Perseus is looking awfully plumpy. Yeah, he's putting on some pounds. Don't fat shame Perseus. He's a cat. Let's take a look at some lemurs. These are lemurs eating watermelon at the Oregon Zoo. I believe this happened on Watermelon Day. Yeah, there's a day for it. You can feel free to breathe at any time during the show. Even if you're driving, you can breathe. It's one of those things that you can do while driving. You can do well engaged in any activity, really. Catfished. I was catfished. Yeah. Isn't it catfish, though, when somebody pretends they're in love with you and then they get you to do certain things and then you find out that they're not in love with you at all and they're maybe not even the person they purport to be? Is that catfished? I don't know. Oh my God, that watermelon is finger licking good. It looks good, right? All animals, one thing we've discovered on this show, the show's been around for 6 years. We've discovered that all animals love melons. It's weird, right? All of them. They just love it. And they love squashes too, like pumpkins. It's crazy. Humans don't like pumpkins that much. All right, let's get into the show. I like to carve pumpkins around Halloween time, although I have probably not done it in 10 years. So how much do I like it? Not very much, I guess. Guess I'm lying. I'm actually AI. So, oh wait, let's see. I want to hear about this catfish thing. I thought catfish meant that someone was not representing themselves as something they're not. Well, I'm going to ask my guest, because my guest is a genius. My guest today is Ariel Evans. She was introduced to me by Ginny Sykes, who went down to San Diego. I believe it's San Diego. I'll find that out too. To the Big Tomato Comedy Festival. My wife says, I have literally never seen you carve a pumpkin, Joel. It's true. I just like to do it in my mind. It's something I do while meditating because they always say concentrate on the breath. And it turns out the breath is super boring. So if you concentrate on something else, it's better. So pumpkin carving could be one of them. I used to have a special knife just for pumpkin carving. It was a special one. But what do I know? I'm a Gen Xer. Yeah, I'm a Gen Xer too. I wonder what our guest is. Joel isn't allowed within 100 feet of a sharp knife since that incident in 1986. I'm still scarred from that. I've been watching the show Alone, where Todd, you recommended this, where they're out in the woods alone. And a lot of the people, they get an axe and they start trying to cut down a tree and they cut their leg. I don't know how they do it. They cut their leg and they're out like in the first day. Don't let that happen to you with your pumpkin carving. All right, back to the show. Ariel, so Big Tomato Comedy Festival down in San Diego. Ginny Sykes finds this incredible comedian. She's like, you got to get her on the show. And so that's what we have today, as long as she doesn't leave. She's in the green room with Boney, and I don't know what's going on in there, but he's got the bong out or something. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, she's a New York-based stand-up comedian and comedy writer who grew up in Seattle. Her credits include HBO, SiriusXM. She won the 2022 You Look Like Roast Battle in Atlanta. And I'm not familiar with that, but I'm going to find out about it for us all. She reached the quarterfinals in the World Series of Comedy and has been a semifinalist both at the Comedy Mob Festival and the She-Devil Comedy Competition in New York City. And that's where the best comedians are, right? Fight me on that. I'm not in New York, so who am I to say? She performs regularly at clubs across the country and has also worked as a freelance copywriter for Arnold's Worldwide Institute for the Comically Gifted And she describes her own comedy as social commentary with family baggage. Oh, boy, do I know about that, family baggage. I was trying to touch my toes at the doctor's because the doctor asked me to touch my toes, and I was like, I can't. I've never been able to. And he said, well, maybe you have a problem. And I'm like, my whole family can't touch their toes. And he's like, your family has a problem. And I was like, tell me something I don't know, right? I was trying to make some kindling while camping and almost axed my finger off. It's true. See, other people axing themselves. Oh my God, British people are useless on alone. They clearly haven't left their little dominion for centuries. Putting London marketing people out in bear country is very silly. I like the people who bail out the first day after a bear gets near their campsite. I think I might too. Right? It's true. That's what happens. I like you in black silk, Jokal. Yeah, I'm wearing velour. It's like 114 degrees out, and I'm wearing a velour black shirt, as I always do on Interview Friday. Honestly, does a bear shit in the woods? What did they think was going to happen? Our campground has always been had bear visitors. And Todd says, I know they said there might be bears, but I thought they were kidding. Yeah, it's so weird. Ginny Sykes, if that's your biggest family issue, you aren't a comedian. I've been banished from my community. All right, let's get into this thing. This is Ariel Evans. There's been too much. Oh, by the way, if you want to comment during the interview, please do. All right, here we go.
People see me and they assume a lot of things about me. They assume a lot of things about me, right? But I'm a black hippie from Seattle with a Jewish man's name. So it's like black flower power. Oy vey. All right.
All right, Ariel Evans, welcome to Lunch Therapy.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you. Can you tell me if you know anything about catfishing? Because that was brought up in the beginning of the show.
Oh, well, I am a catfish, so I'm not a real person. No. What I know is based on the TV show.
Oh, so and I saw that
not
too.
A lot.
And that was like somebody who was like trying to convince people that they were like in love. They were in love with them, right?
Right. Like I guess like we pretend to be somebody or not. There's one episode where I think it was like a woman pretend to be Lil Bow Wow for like years and people believed it.
For years.
Just like, yeah. Like, why are you talking to Lil Bow Wow for this long? Who cares?
It's so crazy. I don't even know what's going on lately. It's the nuts.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Seattle. I instantly contacted you when I saw your site said that you were a Supersonics enthusiast. Oh, yeah. All right. For those of you that don't know, Supersonics were the basketball team in Seattle. I remember, I'm going to say 1980 when they won the championship. Mm-hmm. They almost won in 79, then they won in 80, I believe. And everything was going great until somewhere around 2000. Howard Schultz, the owner of Starbucks, bought the team, and we're like, well, we're in good hands. I mean, it's the owner of Starbucks, and then he sold it off to Oklahoma, and they left in the middle of the night.
That's why we should all boycott Starbucks. That's the only reason to boycott them, because they sold the Sonics.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. We were talking about the mascot, which was the Sasquatch, and I was saying that when I was a kid, it was the Weedle. And so we've got overlap, I'm sure, growing up in Seattle, but some things we don't even connect on.
Yeah, I did not know about this Weeble.
I'm gonna do this, okay, just to get this out of the way. Do you know who this guy is?
No.
You see?
Whoa.
That's JP Patches. I'm schooling you on your and you can school me too, because I've been gone for a long time. That was the guy that raised all of us when we were kids in Seattle.
That was probably like the original Sonics mascot too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was at the Sonics games for sure. He was definitely there. But yeah, he was on TV on Cairo 7 when we were kids, and I like every day. And he lived at the dump. I just had to get. Yeah, he lived at the dump. He lived at the dump. He was the mayor of the Seattle City dump, and yeah, and he had a landlord named Gertrude. I believe she was the landlord. And it was really like he'd talk off screen to the landlord. And one day the landlord walked on and it was a guy who put a mop on his head. And he was Gertrude, and he stayed in the show. He was in the show forever. And that was our role model. Those guys were
Wait,
our
yeah,
role
that's
model.
the children's program?
It was a children's program.
Follow the dump guy, you guys. He knows what's up. He doesn't pay his rent, but he lives in the dump.
Todd knows about the Weedle, and he also JP has a statue with Gertrude in Fremont. I don't know. You'll have to go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Take a
look. Is it next to the troll or not next to the troll?
It's kind of down the street. It's down the street from the troll. It's actually in a prominent place, not under a bridge, hiding like the troll. Do you have any Seattle references for me where you'd be like Gumwall, and I'll be like, I don't know what that is, or something like that?
I'm trying to think. Seattle references.
What are your favorite Seattle things?
My favorite Seattle things. This is going to be a deep cut, maybe slightly inappropriate, but if people know 20th.
20th, okay.
That's where all the high school kids used to hang out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. On the bridge in 20th. Above, I think, Ravenna Park, I think it's.
Really? That was like when we were in elementary school, or no, junior high school, we had a place called Smoke Road where everybody would go hang out after school, and it was just cigarette butts everywhere.
Yeah.
And there'd be like a kid getting beat up, like a underclassman getting beat up, and everybody smoking, and it was terrible. It was a terrible place.
We had Smokers Corner by our school.
Did you? Yeah. When I was in high school, we had a fenced-in area where you could smoke.
Yeah, ours is just on a corner on the school property.
There'd be like a teacher there. A teacher and a bunch of. Oh, it was crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God. So
now all the kids are just vaping inside.
Yeah, you're right. They're just there in class vaping, probably. What was your experience like growing up in Seattle? Did you want to be a comedian? Did you know comedians?
No, actually, I originally, when I first growing up, I kind of went to work in the government, kind of had like working in politics for a while. And then I kind of went to an open mic and just kind of fell in love with comedy. I was like, I just want to try it. And I just tried it. And here I am years later, kind of how it worked out. But growing up in Seattle was amazing, but I always loved comedy. I loved comedians. I loved watching comedy, but it was never kind of an aspiration when I was growing up. I was kind of just enjoying life, hanging out.
Yeah. You always talked about your dad a lot in comedy. What was your mom like?
Oh, my mom is wild. My mom, she was a single mom pretty much our whole life. She had 4 kids, and I feel like she was just trying to survive because she was outnumbered the whole time. She was like, I don't know.
A single mom with 4 kids. Wow.
4 kids.
How do you even do that?
Right? I remember one time my mom, she was like, we were driving in the car and we were just being absolute mess, like just screaming in the car. My mom had no control over us. And she was like, all right, the song Boombastic by Shaggy was on. And she was like, the first person that can understand what he's saying wins a prize. And that's how my mom disciplined us sometimes. We're like, all right, because we were listening so intently and still don't know what he's saying to this day, but it was very creative parenting.
That's hilarious. So you got into politics did you like major in poli-sci or something? Or what made you go into politics?
I did. So I kind of fell in love. Now it's like, I don't really say it now, but I fell in love with the government and politics and all of that when I was in high school. And so I studied poli-sci at the University of Rochester. And then I actually I worked for Patty Murray for years, the senator from Washington State. Absolutely amazing boss. Shout out to Patty Murray. And I kind of left it, I'll say.
Did you get disillusioned or what?
I did.
Yeah.
I worked it for 4 years, and then I just felt like, honestly, I just couldn't lie anymore to people because it's a lot of lying. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of lying to people.
Did you listen to the voice messages or take the phone calls from people? Because we all like call our senators. They always say, call your senator, call your. So I'm like, okay, I'll call my senator.
I remember your voicemails, Joel.
Yes, you know it.
Wild voicemail.
Know it. I'd call in different accents during the day, trying to like pretend I was different people.
Exactly.
I had a map of like different zip codes. What is that worth it? Is that worth doing, or what's your experience with that? And are there a lot of crazy people that just call all day?
Yes. Is it worth it? I would say if you're talking about pay, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
If you have a commitment to service, then yes, it's worth it.
Is it worth it to call?
Oh, worth it to call?
Does that change the world?
I don't want to say I'm trying to be. I feel like I'm trying to be optimistic here. Like, yes, call your senator, tell them to do this. It does get recorded. When I worked for Patty Murray, it did get recorded,
Well, this is getting
and it
recorded. I mean,
and it
everything's
and it went to
recorded
her.
these days.
Yeah, that's true. It went to her. She had the information, so it was counted and recorded. I don't know if it changed the world. I mean, for the
Pamela says,
better
why
or
do they
worse,
all lie so much? Why do they need to do that?
because they're politicians.
They just lie. I don't know what it is. It's like, and then they want us to give them money.
Right, exactly.
And we're supposed to give them money. And I'm like, are they going to pay us back or what? When I borrow money from people, I have to pay it back. We can't handle the truth. That's what Todd says. That's what it is. We're like little babes. We don't understand politics enough. Oh my God. So, did you move to New York while you were working in politics, or did you start comedy
No,
before that, or what happened?
yeah, so I used to, so it's kind of like a weird like comedy journey because I started and then I stopped and then I started again.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
kind of
started,
common though, don't you think?
yeah, absolutely. I think people
Yeah.
kind of go back and forth. But I originally started in Seattle at this
Mhm.
comedy club called Giggles.
Oh yeah,
That was my
giggles.
first open, okay, yeah, Giggles, which
Yeah.
later turned into a strip club called Jiggles, which I think great marketing.
Hilarious.
So yeah, I was at the comedy club portion, not the strip club portion.
Yeah.
That was my first open mic, and it was amazing. And I fell in love with it. All my friends were there from high school. It was a great time.
You mean
And
they were
then,
doing comedy too, or were they
oh
just your
no, they're
audience?
watching me. They're watching
Oh
me. Yeah.
wow, that's
And
fun.
then I kind of, took the kind of politics path and worked for Patty Murray and kind of put comedy on the back burner. I was like, all right, I'm going to focus on this. And then after my disillusionment with the government,
Yeah.
I moved to New York and it was like, all right, I want to try this comedy thing again and like really go for
Wow.
it. And
You really
so,
went for it with like both feet.
yeah, I just dived in. And I love
Wow.
living in New York. I've, always wanted to live in New York and I was like, let's do it. Let's try it. And now I've been here almost 10 years now.
What was the hardest thing about moving to New York from Seattle?
I think it's just so different. Like there's no,
Yeah.
like
Did you
the
spend
West
time
Coast
in
and East
there
Coast.
first? Like, I'm gonna check
Yeah.
it out first, and then you
Oh yeah, yeah.
decide
My
I'm gonna
family's
move.
from New York, so like I like understood what I was getting into. But I
Oh, you did.
remember there was one day in particular when I first got here. Like I was having a terrible day, and I got caught in the rain. I was soaking wet, and I was like, "That's it. New York broke me. I'm leaving. I'm going home." So there's definitely those days where you're just like, "What am I doing in this city that smells terrible? There's rats everywhere."
Yeah.
But
Where in New York do you live?
I live in Queens, and if you're
Oh,
familiar, kind of Forest Hills area,
oh,
which I'm
cool.
told is like where the King of Queens is supposed to take
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what is your day as a comedian like? I mean, at night, do you go from place to place to place, or how is it now in New York? Because I always hear about comedians like in New York, you can get up like 5 times a night or go to different places. Is it
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, it is absolutely like that. There's so much stage time. There's so many opportunities to perform in New York. I think for me, it depends on the night. I'll have night, where I'll do like 4 shows in a night, but
You
then
will.
I'll have nights where I'll just have like one show. So it definitely depends on the night. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of stage time. I think it's great if you get into that kind of hustle culture and you're into it.
Hmm.
But then sometimes you have to take a step back and
Yeah.
just have a night off, enjoy it with your family and friends, and be like, all right, I'm just gonna live like a normal person for once.
Well, you have to accumulate things to talk about.
Exactly.
Otherwise, nobody can relate to what you're talking about because you're just
Right.
talking about what it's like to be a comedian
Yeah.
roaming around in New York City.
Yeah. But life of a comedian is so odd because like we can literally spend all day not talking to anybody, and then at night, be like, all right, let me go talk to
Isn't
a
that
room full of
true?
people.
It's
Yeah.
kind of weird because when you're in a show, you sit in the audience or you sit in the green room and you don't talk. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
suddenly you're like 0 to 60. I always sit there and watch the other comedians and think, how am I going to be up there just talking?
I
Like
think so
in
too.
about, like 2 minutes from now, I'm going to be up there just rambling away and I'm just not in that mode. You're just not in the mode.
No, absolutely. There's definitely days where I was like, the first time I spoke was into a microphone, which is so wild.
Would you say you're an introverted person or an extroverted person or both?
Definitely introverted.
Yeah.
Definitely more quiet, more reserved. But I do comedy, so there's definitely times I have to be extroverted.
Yeah. You kind
Um,
of have to be.
Totally, absolutely. I mean,
And you're very you
podcast
take really good command of the stage. Did it take you a while to get there?
absolutely. I think for me, it was all about just because of who I am as a person. It was all about finding myself and being comfortable on stage, getting to the point where I can be comfortable on stage
Mhm.
and just feel comfortable just talking in front of people, which is like a skill in itself.
Yeah.
So having that and be able to be comfortable in the silence and, get out what you want to say with like getting to the punchline without getting nervous about the quiet period, the silent when
Yeah.
people are listening. Yeah.
Yeah. And also you have to kind of be patient sometimes
Yeah,
after the
absolutely.
punchline even.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise
So
you
like learning
step on it.
that.
Yeah. And learning that whole thing. Did you ever take classes or have any mentors?
No, which I feel
No.
like is not a good answer. I should be like, yeah, I studied really
Nope.
hard. I have these mentors. Nope, got nothing.
Do you write on paper or how do you write a joke generally?
I'm like the person that like writes out every line I
You
write
do.
out. For me, it helps me like memorization, and then like I can like put in words, see where punchlines go, try to rework it together.
Hmm.
But then I just kind of know the points when I get on stage, and then try to hit the main points when I'm like on stage performing, so it doesn't sound like as rehearsed. It comes out more naturally. But I'm
Do you,
definitely like I pay like notebooks full of writings.
you have notebooks full of writing. When you have
Yeah.
your thing on the stool and you look at it, what is that? What's on there?
Just
Hey,
words, wild
just like
words of like jokes. It's like I have
just
like
like a
quotes like
word to get you started.
black chicks, fun lesbian, like cocaine, and like I know what those mean, but they're just like random words. You're like, what is this? A weird manifesto.
What about when you got to New York? Okay, so you got to New York, you left your high school friends behind who were your audience,
Yeah.
and also get all your references. And now you're in New York City. Was it hard to start to connect with people in New York City when you were just fresh there, or were you like a rarity because you were from someplace else?
I think that's a great question. I'm trying. It was hard for me to develop like the New York material because I wasn't as entrenched in like the New York life of like the subway jokes or like the rats jokes when I first moved here. I just didn't know because my life was based in Seattle.
Yeah.
But for me, I always with my comedy try to no matter what I'm talking about or where I came from or like whatever it is, just try to be like universal isn't the right word, but like have people understand what you're coming from
Yeah.
in a way that's like it's not off-putting, so like people can understand. Yeah, I grew up in Seattle, but you can understand like the weird dynamics. Everybody has a family dynamics. Everybody's frustrated with this, and so making your comedy universal, I think, is very, very, very important.
And how do you make it universal? You go to the personal experience, or how do you do it?
I think definitely connecting a personal experience. I always try to, even when I'm talking about subjects that may turn people off, coming to it at a place where you're like, okay, I want you to feel comfortable, never talking down to people. Be like, sometimes I make myself like the idiot of the joke in order to like not put
Hmm.
somebody else down. Like, oh, I don't understand. Like, I'm the stupid one here. And so it's not like turning anybody off of the joke. And so making people like understand where you're coming from, I think is really important. Just, making everybody feel comfortable. Everybody's at a comedy show to have a good time, to laugh. And I think if you try to go in with that kind of attitude, everybody having a good time, it usually works. Sometimes it
Yeah.
doesn't.
You make a really good point though, because one of the things I've noticed, because there's so much politics in the world right now, and it just permeates every fiber of of my body, at least.
Yeah.
I can't get it out. I can't not talk about it. But if I make myself the butt of the joke, and it's a political thing, I find that it goes over much better. And I've seen other comedians doing this too.
Yeah.
Do you have that
Yeah.
experience?
It makes it more relatable because it's like people feel, I guess, self-deprecation. People love self-deprecation. That's one of
Yeah.
the keys in comedy too. And so people can understand it, relate to it.
Yeah.
And when I talk about politics too, I always try to, I mean, you can look at me and pretty much understand where I'm coming from and understand my worldview. But I
Hmm.
always try to look at a point where it's like not isolating anybody. Like I have a
Yeah.
joke of like, Trump is just gross looking. Like that's
Yeah, I
just
saw
like
that.
I feel like that's objectively like, yeah, he's not an attractive man. Like I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
And so coming out like that and like, all right, like that's funny, yeah.
And then you go off on Mitt Romney and how great looking he is.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
terrific. I love that. I'm going to play a clip here, and then we'll come back.
I asked my friend Sam to go wingman for me. Go talk to my high school crush. My friend Sam walks over to my crush and goes, "You like black chicks?" My high school crush, who I went to high school with, turns around and goes, "Do you mean Ariel?" To recover, general. Do you like black chicks? You know, like Whoopi Goldberg. Like, what is this, 1987? Whoopi Goldberg is the only black woman you know? Like, what is going on? Man.
That's great.
Yeah.
It must be a unique experience growing up black in Seattle. I mean, you go to that a lot in your comedy. It's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that clip was actually a very true story, word for word, which is
Really?
wild. Shout out to my high school crush, Paul Stanley.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it happened in our friend's, it was our friend's parents' house. He was having a party, and we were just all talking in the kitchen. And he did that, and I was like, what? Did you do that? I'm right here.
That clip was from a show that you did in Seattle, right? Did you go back
Correct.
from New York and put on a show? Like, how did you manage that, and what happened?
Yeah, I try to go back and visit my family, but also do comedy about once a year in Seattle. So I'll try to. That was like a great headlining show.
Yeah.
Comedy/bar on Capitol Hill. Great venue, and yeah, I go back once a year, see my family, do some shows. I love the Seattle audience; they're always very warm and welcoming, ready to laugh, and just great shows out there. Absolutely.
That's cool. Now this Big Tomato or comedy festival that you were just in, Ginny asked me, mention the Big Tomato, and I was like, is that a ketchup store or what is that? And can you tell me about that, and also about comedy festivals, competitions, and the kind of things that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the Big Tomato Comedy Festival was at Mike Drop Comedy in San Diego. It was a feedback festival, and it was absolutely amazing. Shout out
What
to
does that
Ginny.
mean, feedback festival?
So I was confused too when I first did it. I was like, feedback festival. So we had on hand, there was like industry judges, but it wasn't a competition, and that they just give you feedback. So you got to meet with different representatives from the industry, the comedy industry and entertainment industry, get some feedback on your work and get some help on your jokes and everything. And so that was like really helpful. And then we get like actual like the handwritten feedback from like the different judges, so we can kind of grow and craft our comedy and just become better comedians. It was like kind of like a class. I guess this is my first comedy class.
Never heard
like
of that.
A little summer camp. It was amazing.
It seemed like it was fun. I mean, Ginny seemed to be having a good time down there. And so what is that like, getting feedback to your comedy? Like, do you enjoy it? Is there a moment where you're like, don't tell me what to do?
I would say not all feedback is the same. There's like feedback of like somebody coming right up to you after the show and was like, I like this joke or didn't like that joke.
Yeah.
But then there's like actual constructive feedback of like, oh, what if you move this punchline around? Or they'll give you a new tag. Like, what if you said it this way? Or what if you change this one word? And I think that kind of feedback is like really helpful to me. I also find it helpful when they're like, when people see you on stage, you don't always see yourself. So like, oh, you should have done this differently on stage, or like you moved your body this way on stage. And so getting that kind of feedback of like, you don't always see yourself, it's just incredibly helpful. And I think, you can take it as you would like. And sometimes I take it and use it. Sometimes I don't use it because I'm like, that doesn't fit for me. But it's always helpful to have feedback, constructive feedback, I will say.
Who are the judges? Were they comedians as well? Or
There were
TV people or what?
There were like two touring comedians, somebody from the comedy club, and I think there was, I'm blanking on the other one, but there were kind of people in the industry, working comedians, people that work behind the scenes, like comedy club bookers, and then people kind of like represent like an agency. So it's kind of a little different levels of everybody.
You have in your bio this thing called You Look Like Roast Battle in Atlanta. What is that? And do you do roast battles often?
No, that was my first one. And I was like, all right, that's it. I won. I'm out of here. I just tried it. For me, roasting's a huge thing. It's become like incredibly popular recently. And I was like, let me try it. Let me try to work on a new skill, try to push myself. And it was, roast battle in Atlanta. It was a lot of fun. And essentially every joke you write, you have to be like, you look like XYZ. So
every joke has to be like that.
Yeah, so that's what.
And do you go with people or inanimate objects or both? Or you look like a waffle iron.
I think I'm trying to think of one of my. It could be anything. I was like, I think one was like, you look like the kind of person that women cover their drinks around.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah.
So it can be like physical attributes or kind of like, description of things like different things like that. Yeah.
Jenny's saying, oh, they're saying Kayla McNeil, who was funny.
Kalia, yeah.
Yeah, Kalia.
Kalia,
Hillary,
yeah.
the owner of Mic Drop, and Jeff Grooms, booker for Mic Drop.
Thank you,
Cool.
Jenny, with the assist. I
Thank you for
appreciate
this.
it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
assist. I love that. Here's another clip.
Women are beautiful, and men are there. You guys are present. Like, being straight turns my dating pool into an above ground pool. I mean, like, sure, I'll get wet. But it could be better. It could be better.
What do you think the thing is? So you put the stuff. Do you think we're supposed to put our jokes online now? Is that the way we go? Is that the best way?
I think it's kind of the way it is now. I don't
It
think
is, right?
before it's like people like wouldn't put anything online until it was like absolutely finished and they released their special. But now it's like definitely all about like clips and getting it out there. I try to do it. I like to do like parts of a joke. So I don't like to do the whole joke because it kind of, I don't like the whole reveal. But like a
Yeah.
funny little 20-second clip or a funny crowd work clip, I think is funny and helpful. But yeah, it's a clips game now. Everybody's
It
doing
is,
it.
right? It seems like there was a shift, maybe during COVID, maybe like somewhere in the middle, where
I would say-
people started putting their clips, and not just crowd work, not, and also, I think probably people nowadays know enough about comedy from shows like this, where they can watch a joke develop,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and you can see it develop through, and that's kind of behind the scenes, but it's not a problem anymore. Like it's not a bad thing to do. So I think that's great. What about this other thing that I really am interested in? The Worldwide Institute for the Comedically Gifted.
Oh
is
yes,
that?
that was when I when I was working as a freelance writer for Arnold Worldwide. I had not heard of this until they had reached
What
out
is
to
it?
me to join it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So Arnold Worldwide is an advertising agency. So I had worked with them. I think it was my contract. It was a few months. I think half a year maybe. I worked with them, and just working on different ads. And it was actually a great experience. Why am I blanking?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know? Sometimes like you're like
Yeah.
seems like so long ago, but I was like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great opportunity.
Do you see yourself doing more writing like that, or do you write for other things besides that?
I think that was kind of the only opportunity I had like to actually like write for something like write for like an ad agency or something like that. But I would definitely be interested in writing more. I think there's a lot of opportunity to definitely just even write yourself and self-publish it and put it out there. Some things like Medium and Substacks and things like that. I think it's a great opportunity, but also there's so many incredible writers and not that many writing jobs, I would say.
Opportunities lately.
Yeah,
That's
so-
why you have to write for yourself. You wrote.
Exactly.
Did you write that short film that you did, 45 and Me?
I did. I wrote that, yeah,
Tell
about
us
going
about
to my
that.
dad's funeral.
Yeah. Tell us
Yeah.
about how that happened. Is that a true
So
story?
that's absolutely a true story. So
Wow.
my dad left my life when I was 10 years old, when I was a young child, and then he passed away a few years ago.
Did he just walk out, or I mean, this is kind of personal.
Kind of. I would have to ask my mom the details.
You never asked?
Yeah.
Let's get her on the phone. Let's get her on the phone.
Hey, Mom, remember that traumatic experience we all had? Let's talk about it. This is lunch therapy, so it'd be perfect.
That's right. This is the therapy portion.
Exactly. No, he stopped showing up and just kind of removed himself from our lives. And then, he passed away a few years ago. And I went to the funeral, and it was just a weird, very, very weird experience because it was seeing my dad, who I hadn't seen in 20 plus years, like in a coffin, which is just it's just a
Whoa.
really like really mess with your head and like
Yeah.
I'm mad, but I'm sad, and this is weird, and I'm uncomfortable, and like everything kind of all the emotions mixed into it.
Hmm.
And then like I met his new wife I didn't know existed, and
Wow.
just getting like entrenched in that. And I remember in the moment I was like, this is such a mind-blowing weird experience. I have to write something about it.
Hmm.
So it started out, I actually wrote a joke about it, and then it turned into kind of this like short film that I wrote about it because I was like, this is such a weird experience. And like I remember it was like it was at this like Japanese mortuary, which was like not connected to my family at all. And then like there was a Confederate flag in his coffin. I was like, this is
What?
such a
Did you ever
weird
find out
experience.
why there was a Confederate flag?
No, I
I saw you
was just
mention that in a bit, and I was just like,
I
what?
couldn't. I was like, yeah. I was like, I guess it was just very odd. It was like it was a very odd situation. I was like learned a lot about my dad that I had no idea about because he
Yeah.
grew up in Brooklyn. And I was like, why is there a Confederate flag here? On
And he was apparently
so many
really into
levels.
Japanese things too, right? Or
He was
Japanese
really into
culture.
yeah, really into Japanese culture. I found that out. Also, it's yeah.
Do you know if he ever went to Japan or anything?
Oh yeah, he went to Japan a few times. I saw the
Hmm.
pictures on the
At the
casket.
funeral.
At the funeral, I learned all this stuff about my dad at the funeral. He was like really into like health and fitness. I also found his secret YouTube channel.
You did?
Yeah, apparently he has a YouTube channel. Like, of course, talks about Japan. Like, what else would he talk about? And
Wow.
me and my sister were watching it, and I think we're like the only two views that watched it because we're like, we have to watch this. This is so wild. So yeah, my dad was just a secret influencer my whole life.
Do you find that comedy is cathartic for you or therapeutic for you?
Absolutely. I think it's a way, it's cathartic. In like that situation, I was like, this is like a great way for me to like express everything I'm feeling,
Mhm.
but and do it in a funny way that helps me heal.
Yeah.
But also, I think for me too, it's like it enables me to have a voice in a situation that I don't always have a voice in.
Yeah.
Like in the world, someone like me might not always have a voice, but enables me to have a voice and say my thoughts and say how I'm feeling and be like, hey, isn't that crazy? And people are like, oh yeah, that is crazy that it works like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And so it's just so powerful and I love it. So it's cathartic, it's fun, it's everything.
I do. I find that too, that sometimes things are therapeutic because the audience, you see the people kind of connect to it.
Hmm.
Like I often will say, I'm in a lot of debt. Like I was in a lot of debt. And so I
Hmm.
started saying it on stage. It actually helped me pay off my debt because I got it out into the open. But I'd be like,
Yeah,
I'm in a lot of debt. And then I'm like, anybody else, and then you see people kind of like, you know,
yeah, absolutely. And then like the other people feel better about their debt because they're like, I'm
yeah,
not the only
like
one in
I'm
debt.
not
And
the
like,
only one sitting on
right,
this debt. I mean, so many people in the
exactly.
country are like probably in debt right now from,
Right.
all the stuff that's going on. But yeah, it's a great way to connect, and getting things out there is a great way to connect, but it's also good for you.
Yeah,
Some people
absolutely.
like shy away from that because they're like, it's not supposed to be therapeutic for you. But then you look at like other comedians that are the best comedians,
Right.
and it is therapeutic for them, whether they
Yeah,
like
I
it or
mean,
not.
right, exactly. Think about the things they're talking about. It's stuff that's personal to them and talking about. So it's like it's helping them, even though it doesn't seem like that because they're so good at comedy. You're like,
Yeah.
but it is cathartic for them. It is helping
It is
them.
cathartic for them, yeah.
Yeah,
And also laughing together is
absolutely.
cathartic. I don't know what Jason said. You need to sit on the debt. Okay, I will sit on it.
Uh,
Everybody, sit on the debt. All right. All right. Here's another one.
Like growing up, I had a lot of white friends, and whenever they want to refer to a black person, they always look to me to confirm what they're about to say. Is it from their human resources race manager? Like African American? Great. Colored people? Only when you're talking about the advancement of them.
That's hilarious. That's funny. Uh, that's it's funny because you didn't have any kind of comedy mentor, you didn't have any kind of comedy training or something, but you pick up on kind of genres of jokes, and did that take you a long time to understand how a joke works? Or did you have a
yeah,
community that you talked to, or what was it, trial and error?
it's trial and error and watching people perform too. Just like watching people, like studying them. Like, all right, not even like you don't even need to watch like the greats. You can just go to a comedy club and just watching, or like, oh, why did they say that way, or why did they emphasize that word, or why did they move
Yeah.
that way? And so, think watching other people do it, and then watching other people do, and you learn what to do and then what not to do. I
Hmm.
would say, and so
Yeah.
that definitely helped me. And forming a joke, it's just a lot of trial and error, and then you go to open mics, you see what works, how you word things, what words you should use, and you kind of just learn along the way.
Do you ever see a
Definitely.
comedian and they're telling jokes, but you're like not enjoying it? And you like wonder like, why am I not enjoying this? And sometimes one of the things I've noticed recently is I don't enjoy it when the person has a big ego and they're trying to feed their ego on the stage. And it can
Yeah.
be just the most, or if they, yeah, like, and they brag a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember watching this comedian, this was a while back. He was a big poker player. And he was talking about how he just got back from Vegas and he made, $80,000 or something like that. And instantly the audience just was not enjoying
Yeah.
it anymore.
You have to be humble to get on stage. You
You
have
have
to
to be
people don't
humble.
like it if you come on stage and you're like, I'm great, I'm amazing, you guys
Yeah.
suck.
You guys suck. I mean, some people can pull that off, I guess, just because it's
Yeah.
funny how like confident they are.
Right.
But in general, if someone's trying to feed their ego, it's just like a disaster. It can be just a total disaster.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
they talk about their sexual exploits, or they talk about like, I don't know, all the drugs they use or something like that.
Right.
Just turns me off. And I don't know, some people love it. Do you find that you have an audience that loves you, like, and sometimes you get yourself in a position where you have an audience that just doesn't get you?
Yeah,
Does that happen?
absolutely. Absolutely. There's definitely, I can usually walk into a room and be like, oh, okay. You guys may not feel my vibe, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
try to
do
get you
it
back on my
anyway.
side.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, for me, a lot of it is people just make assumptions about, like, look at me and make assumptions about what I'm going to talk about, and then
Yeah.
it's completely different. And so like they're already coming in with these kind of set of ideas, like, oh, I'm not gonna like this, so I'm not gonna sit here and be stank.
Yeah.
But if people come in with open mind, ready to laugh, they usually can laugh it with me, have a
Yeah.
good time. But there's definitely rooms I'm like, oh, okay, just do my set and leave, and that's
Just do it. Do
it.
you
Just
find
do it
that
and
in
leave.
different places? Do you tailor your set when you go to different places in the country? Because you've been to a lot of different places.
Absolutely. I always, for me, I always try to stay true to who I am and true
Mm.
to my jokes,
Yeah.
but I will kind of work things around, or maybe like if it's a younger crowd, I'm like, oh, I have these like really like jokes I think that they'll relate to. Or if it's an older
Yeah.
crowd, I'm like, oh, I have these references I think they'll relate to. Or if it's a late night show, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be a little more raunchy. And so kind of like tailoring it to the audience, but still like being true to my comedy and who I am. Absolutely. I think you have to kind of get people to understand you, get the references and everything.
Yeah. I got to play this clip because this is an example.
That's good. Tom, did I see you have a flip phone, Tom? Oh, yeah. You have one of these, so we just do a No one has ever had that reaction to anything I've done in my entire life. That was like the greatest reaction to pulling out a flip phone. You guys are like, whoa, we're going wild. This is crazy. Oh my god.
Do you really have a flip phone? Is that
I
like a
do.
true
That
thing?
is my only
s-
phone. I have a flip phone.
You
Yeah.
still do?
Yeah, I still do.
Does it even work? Can you even do that?
Can I do that? People hate it in my life because I don't answer texts and I just call them. And some people
You
are
do.
like, don't call me. I'm that
How
person
do
just
you
calls.
even
Like,
get
ah,
away with it in this world that we live in, especially as a comedian? Because you have to
um,
like use all the apps and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah. So I do a lot of it obviously on my desktop. And then, yeah, I never made the switch to a smartphone. I think eventually my phone will be obsolete and I'll have to make the switch, but I'm just holding out still.
Mike says, "Let's see it." Do you have
Oh,
it?
it's in a, I don't even have it on me because because it's
Don't even have your
doesn't do
phone on
anything.
you. What are you crazy?
Yeah, I don't carry my phone around. Leave it in another room somewhere.
Can you tell us a little bit about your master plan as a comedian? Do you make a plan? Do you have like set goals? Do you say like 5 years from now I want to have this or anything like that? Do you have a
I wish I
landline?
had a landline. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Comment. Honestly, my dream would be able to go back and only have a landline and have people just leave voicemails for me.
Wouldn't it be
Like
great? Wouldn't it be great? I would
that would
love
be
to go. I
amazing.
would love to go back in time.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Just like not always available. It was
We
amazing.
didn't even have answering machines when I was a kid, so that would be great.
That's
No
even better. I like
responsibility
it.
whatsoever.
Right. That's amazing.
And no one can get a hold of you ever.
It's so freeing. You're just like, I'm just gonna be wherever, and I'll show up when I show up. I love it.
But yeah, so
my
okay, back to your master plan.
my comedy.
Yeah.
I think it's shifted a lot, and I feel like maybe in a year from now it will be different. I think, when I first started, I definitely like dived headfirst into comedy. It was like, I want to be like a touring comedian. Like I just want to travel all over the country. And now that I've seen like all the different avenues you can take, I was like, maybe there's like a writing avenue, or maybe there's like kind of more like performance, like maybe like acting and stuff. Like so, there's definitely a lot of different avenues, and I feel like it shifts as I grow and as I learn different things.
Yeah.
For me, I would say my like master plan of comedy is I want to be to the point where I can just get paid enough to live and do comedy. Whether that's performing comedy, whether that's writing comedy, whether that's a combination of both, whether that's kind of doing like comedy and then producing. And so just be able to like make a comfortable life of a comedy is my master plan.
That's your master plan.
For comedy.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Just make a living, yeah.
Do you think that you'll... Oh, wait, Mike says his mom would shout his name and he could hear it 9 blocks away.
Nice.
That's nice. Yeah, but what do you think the route is now? Like doing a special, is that a good thing to do, or what do you see it as?
I would say it's definitely a good thing to do, but I think there's so many different avenues you can take.
Doesn't it seem like... It seems like just even the last couple of years, it's...
Absolutely. Because like especially with the explosion of TikTok, and like people are like now becoming like, not to like, shit on them, but like internet famous, but then they're able to like translate that into like getting booked at the comedy clubs, and touring. So like there's that avenue, or they can go behind writing, or there's just so many different avenues you can take. Absolutely.
Trying to connect to all those different people out there that are your audience. It seems to be the skill. Like we need that skill.
Right.
And if we all had flip phones, we could do it, but all of us don't have flip phones.
Exactly. I would love if we all went back to flip phones. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Just no more apps, no more everybody staring at their phone. Just like only look at Instagram and TikTok like at your home. It would be the life.
Yeah, that would be the life. Don't you think though that like it sounds like the landscape in New York is different than here, because here you don't really go out and do 5 shows in a night like in Los Angeles.
Right.
You don't do that. In fact, most of the shows that you do, you have to get like at least 5 people to come. Do you have that? Is New York like that at all?
There's definitely those kind of scene. I think in New York we have the benefit as like there's just so many options and so many different ways to get on stage. And there's so many like independently produced shows. I mean,
Mike does 6. He's here. He does 6 shows a night.
There you go. But like,
wow.
I remember one time I was walking on the street and there was a comedy show at the beginning of the block and a comedy show at the end of the block. There was just so many different comedy shows happening all over the city. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity, a lot of stage time.
Do you think there are more people, more audience members in New York? Like people that are willing to go to comedy that are not your friend? You're not friends with the comedians?
I would say you'll find more people that will show up just because it's New York. People are like, all right, I don't want to sit at home alone. I don't want to do this. Let's go. People are more out. People are more, out and about.
True, huh?
People don't have families in New York. We're all just alone. Like, get me out of this tiny little studio. I got to get out. And so,
oh my God. Do you ever produce shows yourself?
I did. I stopped because it was a lot.
A lot of work, isn't it?
It's a lot of work. Just producing it, promoting it, getting the comedians, getting the audience, building it. And I enjoyed it, but I was doing it by myself and I felt like I couldn't really focus on my comedy because by the time the show came around, I'm so stressed about the show, I'm not even thinking about what I'm going to perform on stage. And so
it's true. You
I didn't
don't
feel like
have
I was
any
growing
time
as
to
a
think
comic.
about that.
Exactly.
Or even work your material, because you're just like,
Right.
anytime you go to work on your material, like, I got to get people to come to the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to make a flyer or a video or something.
Right. So it's like that whole aspect of it. I was like, I can't really focus on my comedy. So I don't produce shows anymore, but it was a fun time. I think maybe if I had somebody help me, I definitely would jump back into it.
What about booking shows in comedy clubs around the country? Do you ever do that kind of thing? Like, I'm going to do a tour.
I have not.
Pure anxiety.
I usually try to like, I do a lot of festivals, and then I'll try to book shows around the festival where I'm at. So like, say, for example, like when I was at the Big Tomato Festival, I didn't do it this time, but like I'll try to do other shows in San Diego. So not like maybe like a long weekend in a different city, but I haven't done like a booked a tour or anything, but that is a lot of work. And I think that's probably my next logical step for like next year or something. But that's part of my master plan.
Your master plan. We're all in the master plan now.
Yeah.
Do you have do you feel like you have a good comedy support community doing comedy?
I would say, I don't know. I feel like I have a good community support with the people around me. They're not necessarily comedians. I have, some absolutely amazing comedian friends.
Yeah.
And I've met some incredible people doing comedy. But for me, like my kind of community support is kind of everybody outside of comedy. And they're absolutely very supportive, come to my shows, tell me to run jokes. Like, they're like, oh, I have a new joke for you, which I love when they do that. And so I absolutely have a great support community, but it's not necessarily focused in comedy.
Do your friends like it when you tell jokes about them?
It depends on the joke. My friend Sam, when I tell that black chick's joke, he does not like it. But
he doesn't like it? Because it's good. I like the voice that you give him too. You give him like a personality in the thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, he doesn't like it because it's embarrassing for him, but he's heard it so many times now. It's my best friend's husband, so he's been around for a long time,
It's like lore at this point. Yeah. What do you think about comedy competitions? Do you feel that has the right energy, or is it a weird energy when everybody's competing against each other?
I don't really like them. I think there's a benefit to them. I think people that do it, I think they're beneficial. But for me, I don't like...
It's weird,
parroting
isn't it?
The comedy. Yeah,
it's not like a sporting event where you're like trying to run faster than somebody else. It's like, I'm going to hit this joke so hard, it's going to knock you out of the lane.
Yeah, and so it's like not really like my style, but I think, I think people like them, people do them. I see the benefit of them, but
yeah. But you've done a bunch of them, right?
I've done a few, and I do them because I think they're beneficial, or if I want to like perform at this particular venue and they host a competition, I'll do it. But I never go into a competition like I want to win this competition. I go into like competition like, oh, I want to have a good set and try to have a fun show. That's kind of the way I look at competitions, not necessarily competing.
I got one more question about New York.
Yeah.
When you go do like a bunch of shows at night, how do you time it? Do you tell the person, I'm going to be there, and you get on your flip phone, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes right after I do this set? Like, how would you even time that? And do they pull names out of a hat? You send them a fax? Yeah. They got a portable fax.
Right. New York, I mean, not all the shows are like this, but New York, they usually have like set spot times. So you can be like, okay, I have this show, my spot is at 8:15.
Oh, they give you a time.
Yeah, so then I have to be in Manhattan at 9:45. So then you can kind of manage it around, or you can ask to go earlier or later on a show. So there's definitely a lot of like wiggling around your schedule and moving things around. But
I guess if it's set up like that, it works. Yeah.
Right.
Here in LA, like if you have a show, they won't even tell you when you're going, because they don't want your people to show up at 8:15 and miss 7 o'clock people or whatever. So they don't even tell you.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, they usually give spot times so you can plan around, which is very helpful.
Yeah. What about, okay, we have to end this conversation, but I'm just going to ask one more question.
Yeah.
Do you have comedy clubs there where people are regulars? Like, regulars.
Like regular audience?
Here we have no regular comedians. Like here at the Comedy Store, there's only a handful of people who are regulars there, or the people who are all on the side of the building.
Right.
And it's like a gauntlet you have to go through to become a regular. But they get spots. And then even when you're a regular, sometimes you just get spots like really late at night, or they don't give you enough spots. And there's a famous story about a guy who jumped off the building next door because he wasn't getting his spots.
What?
Yeah. So it's like a real competition. Do they have clubs like that in New York?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, definitely. There's definitely
like
regulars
the comic
at
strip
different comedy clubs. Yeah, New York Comedy Club.
Cellar.
You have Cellar, which is like, all the bigger names go there. But there's definitely regulars, and you'll see them like, if you go to the same club, you'll see them around. But definitely regulars. But there's a lot of, because there's so much talent here, there's just a lot of people also, new talent coming in constantly. So you see a lot of new faces.
Oh, wow. All right, we have to end. I'm done interrogating you. This has been super interesting and great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for being on the show. Absolutely. It's great to see a fellow Seattle person. There's not like a ton of Seattle people in comedy. Do you have any friends who are Seattle people, Seattle comedians besides me?
There are a few. I've met a few in New York, and but there's not many.
There aren't that many, are there? There's that guy,
No,
Adam
there's-
Ray. I always find him interesting because he wears Sonic shirts and he's like blowing up.
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
cool.
No, it's always crazy because whenever I meet somebody, whenever people like here, I'm from Seattle, or I hear somebody else from Seattle, I'm like, what? You're out here? This is crazy. I didn't know we made it out
weird.
this far. Yeah.
It's rare in LA too to run into somebody
No,
from
yeah.
Seattle. Almost never. I mean, almost never. And I'll say things like, "Who out there is from Seattle?" Like it'll be a big club and nobody is from Seattle.
People don't leave Seattle.
Don't leave Seattle. And I think there's like a little bit of a like chip on their shoulder in general about LA and especially LA. People are
Yeah.
like La La Land. I'm not going to go down there, but probably New York as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, dance break time. I got a really nice one for the end of the show here. Thanks so much for being on the show. This has been an absolute
Thank you for having me.
pleasure.
It's been absolutely fun.
All right, cool. Dance break. I like this because it's amazing. This is Main Squeeze.
If I sang out of tune, would you stand up and walk out on me?
I think they did this during COVID.
And I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I can have a little help from my friends. Oh, I can have a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try a little help from my friends. Oh, yeah.
You gotta find out about this guy.
What
Can't
do
believe
I
that.
do when my love is away?
Do you know what the kingdom is?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Oh, I do have the Space Needle here.
Oh my god, you have a Space Needle tattoo. Oh, you win. You win. Thanks everybody for being here. This has been Lunch Therapy. All right, we'll see y'all soon.